Hi, everybody. It's me, Jacobo, and I want to talk about one thing and one thing only, which is the M plus. The M plus is, as some of you might know, certainly the people in Asia certainly will know, but for those that are not in Asia, M plus is a museum that is opening next week in Hong Kong. Is Asia's largest museum and is this of the size and the scale comparable to the Tate or Pompidou or MoMA or so on. The institution, personally, I do see the museum more of a cultural institution rather than a museum per se. I have seen the exhibitions as some of you know. I'm a founding patron for the museum. I did a video about it a while ago, saying how proud I was to be invited for that. So I have previewed some of the exhibitions. Unfortunately, I cannot show you images. We have been requested not to share any images. At least, I mean, patrons. I know that some people have been posting, people that have been invited here and there, but I like to adhere to what I have been asked, not to share information until the launch date. So it's going to be pretty much my face for this video. But I wanted to shoot this video because I want to explain the impact that this museum, at least the impact that this museum will have, at least in my words. So as I was saying, is a cultural institution of the magnitude of the greatest museums in the world, Hermitage or MoMA or Pompidou or so on. The museum is primarily focused on Asia expressions. It has a very strong Asia feel, which I absolutely love. Uh, be, uh, and it starts primarily from the 1960s onwards. Uh, and if I have to summarize the museum in one word, it will be transcendence. I think it's a museum that researches and researches Asian culture quite impactfully. They try to condense the essence of Asian expressions and how these have influenced the world globally. So, for example, they're going to the main wing, which is in Hong Kong, which is a beautiful exhibition. I found that is being curated to really capture the grassroots of Hong Kong, what it means to have a Hong Kong identity. It's not about the understanding of Hong Kong in the West or the understanding of Hong Kong in China. It's the understanding of Hong Kong for Hong Kong people. And starting with the work with the great King of Kowloon, that opening work. When you enter to a museum, you open into to that wing, to the main wing, and you see this massive door that says "I'm the emperor" or "I'm the king" and so on, and the usual script, which reflects a lot of identity. A work that was produced, I think, is in the 60s or 70s when there was this kind of like anti-colonialist, and but not necessarily because of his anti-colonialist, but it's because he was trying to Hong Kong people trying to fight or make their voice heard about their own identity as Hong Kongers. So, I think that the overall exhibition, especially the wing, is extremely beautifully curated. Then you move to the different wings. So you have the South Wing, which is on Asian expressions or international. I think they call it the international, which and they have topics like Chinese diaspora. They have certainly established movements like Gutai and Dansequa. They have one exhibition that is absolutely beautiful by Anthony Gormley, which is like it's about 100,000 figurines. I think they're not putting all of them because you imagine 100,000 figurines, but they're placing a very like about 50,000, or I don't know how the numbers with me, but is very impactful, that work. Uh, and overall, then we also have the East Wing, which is architecture and design, which is extremely interesting because it's all about designs that flourished out of Asia and have transcended globally. So you have items like the Tamagotchi, like the rice cooker for me, and this is something that I discussed with people amply, that in Asia, at least culturally, the world is Asia splits in two, before and after the rice cooker. I know that people do laugh about it, but it's true. I mean, go to an Asian household. I think it's almost non-existent. An Asian house without a rice cooker. And again, I'm not being racist or reductive in a way, but the importance culturally of an element like that it was decided, the Japanese decided to apply technology to something that of great cultural relevance, and how that has transcended globally. Like rice cookers are globally everywhere. And for example, that exhibition and the way that the exhibition ends, which I found it quite remarkable, ends with a work which is like a bunch of computer pieces. And so prior to that, you have a work by Cao Fei, which is R&B City, and then you see this work, which is just a bunch of computer parts, which kind of like for me tells me like what is the future to come. This is like the building blocks of the future, which is going to be computer based. We're moving into a digital realm now. I mean, certainly you have heard the news about metaverses and Facebook and Microsoft with Teams and virtual reality. I'm part of that world. I do my exhibitions in virtual reality. So that the overall exhibit, it feels very extremely well studied, and very, I don't know, very unique in a sense. It's variation. I think that I'm quite pleased to see that you have an institution of this magnitude that is breaking the rules, and is challenging the establishment, which we all know that when it comes to perhaps our research and the curatorial, our world has been extremely Western dominated, and this team, Suhania, the director, and team, they got on board to say, no, let's question, let's break those rules, and let's express, and let's study and research Asia, true Asian expression, uninfluenced, I can say unhinged, uh, true Asian expression. So, and I do find that quite valuable, that an institution is bold enough to take that risk. And the team overall, I mean, the team in M Plus is an international team. You have people from New South Wales, from the Gallery of New South Wales, from Suhania herself, the MoMA, Reina Sofia, and so on. You have leading people from leading institutions working for this museum. So I'm looking forward, and do note that I have not talking about the Ulizig at all. So because the Ulizig is the one that has the international attention, but I can tell you the Ulizig at the beginning we're going to have a lot of attention and interest, but overall over time I really believe that the other galleries, the one that really study Asian expressions, are the one that are going to dominate the agenda in overall. So keep an eye on that. Uh, so yeah, that was my short video. Again, apologies, no images, but I want to respect the M plus. But yeah, and also as I pointed out, as part of my involvement with the M plus, I volunteered to be a guide, and then I'm going to look after two exhibition, two wings, which is the Uli Zig, which is Chinese contemporary, as I pointed on my Instagram, primarily cynical realism, political pulp, and radical performance, and urbanism, and so on. It's phenomenal exhibition. It's the one that with all the controversy, and I have been researching, and certainly we have contacts with the curators and so on. So it's going to be extremely well prepared. I'm going to be looking after that exhibition, and the other one that I'm really happy to look after is they call it the individual network and international expressions, which is Dansekwa, Gutai, all the primarily Asian expressions. But there's one that is very interesting, which I found when I went to visit the museum and I saw it. I found it quite quite relevant, which is Chinese diaspora, which is primarily Chinese artists, not necessarily mainland, but mainland, when I refer to mainland, is mainland China, but it's China, Hong Kong, and Macau, and they have traveled to United States, and how that cultural exchange, how that exchange impacted their expressions. I found that absolutely interesting, and I think it's quite relevant, especially for the Asian culture today, which has a big component of migration, especially towards the West. So I think it's going to resonate locally quite strongly. I hope so. So I'm going to look after those two exhibitions, and I will post the on my Instagram. I'm going to be posting my schedule. I think my first talk is on the 24th at 3 p.m. and I think it's going to be on the South, which is the South Gallery of the South Wing, which is the Uli Zig. So that's going to be my first talk. Is going to be about the Uli Zig collection. I got my books, so I've been researching extensively. I actually quite akin to that collection because I personally am an admirer of cynical realism of political pulp. I do have some works from Chinese artists on this topic, Liu Brothers, Jue Minjun, and so on. So it really is close to me. So I'm quite happy. Excuse me, to elaborate on that. So yeah, I would love if you guys can join me for these talks, especially the people in Hong Kong. Or if you want to know more, I mean, absolutely drop me an email or a message, and we can discuss about it. You know me, I like to debate about all sorts of things. So I will appreciate if you guys actually do tell me what you guys think. I mean, what is your view on an institution like this one that is a vanguard institution that is going to break rules and forefront Asian expressions in the art world. So yeah, that was my short video. I'm trying to keep it very short, 12 minutes, but yeah, that was it. So that was my quick update, and 1 week to go. So hope to see you guys there next Thursday for the pre-opening for those who are invited, and Friday for the big opening. So hope to see you guys there. Okay, cheers, bye.